Accent made this.
We gon' run up the check, run up the tab, run up the bill.
Welcome to another episode of Business Fumbles. I am your host, Sheila Williams, and I am so excited about our guest today. And so without further ado, I will let him introduce himself. Tay.
Well, thank you for having me. Something different a little bit. You know, I'm used to doing like comedy podcasts and stuff like that. Oh, can I cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can be you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, my name is Tay. I go by the name Tay the Truth. I'm a comedian and a promoter, club/lounge promoter. And I'm here with Sheila.
Yes. So I know that you guys out there listening, this is going to be a great episode because he is a funny guy. And I'm hoping that he can drop some of that, funniness as we go through this interview. But he will tell you, how his life is, how he, navigate through his day-to-day, to make the income that he needs as he is a business owner and he's self-employed. So let's jump into it. So, you are a comedian and you do promotion. What put you in that field? How did you start,
So first, we're gonna start off with like me being a comedian. I just always been a funny dude since coming out the womb. Shit, really, basically. And then when I came, I had went away for a little bit, when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came home, it was kind of like the social media was all new to me, the Instagram and all that. So I just started seeing like, the skits, the comedy skits and stuff like that. So I figured that like, shit, I might could try that shit,
Uh-huh.
So I started trying it, I started doing it. And then from there, I started doing the little stand-up comedy. And I still be like playing around with it. I'm not really just like full blown, but I could do it, But I do my thing. And
I've seen your videos. They're really funny.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of engagement.
For sure. But I could do more. I could, I just be feeling like life be whooping my ass sometimes. So I don't be feeling like, ain't shit funny. I ain't got time to be funny. It ain't shit funny right now. It ain't shit funny when a nigga broke.
Okay, so now we're getting, okay, this is funny. Okay, I got to get back on a serious note. Okay, right. So I totally get that. Now you do, the promotion.
Yes.
And so tell me how you got into that and what it entails. How much work do you have to actually put into that?
Okay, so when I first, like I said, I went away and I came home. And
what
I
do
never
you
really
mean you went away?
I went away to prison.
Oh, okay.
I did some years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So I was young.
Mm-hmm. So
when I came home, I wasn't even 21 when I went. So when I came home, I was 21. So I was able to party, and I got into that. So just partying and clubbing, and I was doing that for years, just clubbing every night. Every night I'm outside, and then I just I didn't know you could get paid for partying. Right? I ain't know you could get paid for partying. So my boy Joe Golightly, shout out Joe, he started like showing me like stuff because he been doing it, for years. I think he like on his 11th year or something right now. And I'm like, damn, he was telling me about it, but I still wouldn't take it serious. I'm still going partying for free, spending money, buying drinks. And then finally last year I had got my business license, went and got the license for the city and all the other stuff, and I just said fuck it, I'm gonna try it, and it's been going good for me so far. And it's a lot of work. I didn't think it was a lot of work until I got with Joe. And I see all the stuff that he does. At first I was just making having the flyers made and just throwing them out there and then just having people come out.
Right.
But it's more into like, it's more shit you got to do to
To really
to really
make the
be
money.
successful
Yeah.
and to, you know, you got to have a team. It was just me at first.
So you have to have a team?
If you want to be successful and if you got a club every night, yes, you
Mhm.
have to have a team because
And
you're
what
not going to be able to you don't know everybody in the city. You're not going
Right.
to be able to just have a full club
Mhm.
every single night just off of you. You
Okay.
know, now maybe one night a week or 2 nights a week, maybe, you know.
Uh-huh.
But if you want it consistent, you got to have a team behind you, you know, like sub promoters. Promoters that don't have their license, they don't have
Mhm.
with, you know, the stuff that I have, but they still can bring people out and you
Mhm.
get them a percentage of whatever off
Okay.
the bottle. So they help you. So
And they just go out and bring more people in.
or they post,
Mhm.
you know, they book tables. So if you get, like with Joe, he got like a team of probably 15 people or something like that.
Wow.
So,
but that's a lot of people to pay.
yeah, but if it's coming in,
Mm-hmm.
if it's selling out every night at the club, it's going to be nothing.
Okay.
So say if everybody could just book one table
Mm-hmm.
out of the 15 people, like that's a good night.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody just book one table,
Right.
you know, instead of me booking all the tables in the club, you know?
Right.
So that's what makes it easier on that end. And I don't know, it's sometimes it gets a little tough because you got people that come in tripping. You don't want people, you know, to mess your business
thing
up. Or they tripping about bottle prices or, you know, just being ratchet.
You know what? This is really funny because when I was in Chicago, you know, my children are in the music industry. And so we would put on shows. So I was in charge of that. And so I had other artists performing on these venues that I had.
Yeah.
And I remember it so clearly, you know, I didn't know much about promoting, but I did when I would put the artists on the venue, each artist had to sell so many tickets.
Right, yeah.
And it would sell the place out. But the group would get like 10 tickets.
Yeah.
You know, for their whoever they had, like, because you have, when you're doing rap and stuff like that, you have the hype man.
Yeah.
And so I remember they would come in and they would give the tickets to, you know, that person, but somehow they got copies of the ticket and then they had a batch of tickets that they were supposed to sell.
Right.
And so the ones that they didn't sell, they was giving the people. And when the people would come in and give me the ticket, they didn't know that I had the ticket numbers all printed out. So if
Of everybody that bought.
of everybody that had the tickets,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
ones that wasn't sold was not unchecked.
Right.
So when they would hand the ticket over, and the girl was going down, was like, "This one wasn't paid for," and then I was just looking at the artist like, "Dude, you just handing out the tickets,
Right.
and you ain't got they not coming in." And I never forget after that, he wanted to work with me.
Yeah.
Sort of like, because he was like, "Man, you the business.
Yeah.
You had everything checked."
Got it
and
in
that
order.
was I wasn't even into that. But every time I was involved, it was like, I have to have all of the details.
Yeah.
But if
Most
we do
definitely.
that, they could do this or that. So do you experience stuff like that too?
So me, I do, but then sometimes I don't. I try to leave that to somebody else.
Oh, you give it to
the
somebody
responsibility
else.
to do
Yeah.
that.
But do you guys make a sort of like a limit? Like, okay, in this party tonight, we have to bring in like $5,000 or $10,000. Do you guys have that set?
I mean, that's a good way to look at it, but no, you kind of just go with the flow. It's the goal is just to pack the building out.
Mm-hmm.
So even if so sometimes we gotta give away bottles to bring people in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we give a group of girls a bottle just so they could bring 5 to 6, 7 people in with them, just so it could look good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just go from there. But mostly
But
the
do
weekend,
the clubs give you a percentage off of the drink?
Yeah, you get a percentage off the bar.
Oh,
And
okay, that's good.
Some get a percentage off the door.
Uh-huh.
Some you get flat fees. You know, you get a flat fee and you get the percentage. It's different ways of getting paid with it. But
Is your promotion every day or just the weekends?
no, I got right now. I'm on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So just 2 days
Man,
off.
that's a lot of days.
Yeah.
People party during the week.
Yeah. Yesterday, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. It was,
And it was packed.
yeah, it was packed.
Oh wow! I wouldn't.
I
Think
used to
that
do
people go
karaoke
out.
Mondays, and that used to be packed. You on a Monday.
Wow.
When I first started, I started at this club called Crush. It was kind of down the street from here. The bar was doing like 6,000 on a Monday.
On a Monday?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. On a Monday.
Well, we're in Las Vegas, so
Yeah.
we're in a city where
Nobody sleeps.
right and drinking and everything is very, so you're gonna make money. And I have a lot of restaurants right now that's trying to buy bigger facilities because they can't they don't have a bar
Right.
where they're at. They have great food and they serve wine and everything, but they don't have a bar, and they're like, oh, they're losing out on the money. So
Yeah.
I know that the bar is supposed to be the biggest
Yeah.
money maker.
That's where the money at right there.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially when they get drunk. They're going to keep coming.
Well, let's get a little serious, because right now you're really considered at being in the entertainment business because that's a part of that business. What do you think it's like being in the entertainment? Because everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to be an entertainer. And I know only from my children that this is not
Yeah.
an easy business.
Right.
So what's your intake on it?
Man, the entertainment business is scary to me.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's another reason why I don't take the comedy as serious as I'm supposed to, because I'm a little scared. The entertainment, you see what's going on with the entertainment. Even the P. Diddy situation is just like, they just tearing him down. You feel me? And, I don't know, but it could be lies. I feel like it's lies, and it's just, the media just dragging it. And that could drive a motherfucker crazy.
Yeah.
To the point where they,
take themselves
out because everybody just bashing. And I don't know. I'm not trying to feel like that, to be honest. So I think that's why I kind of like dip in and out type.
I know the other artist that went through that a little bit. His name, he was working with Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, the DJ.
The black guy.
Yeah.
So,
I forget his name.
His
name? Yeah.
It escapes me too. But
yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
But they were saying that he was going through the same situation, like being blackballed and things like that. And I know because, like I said, my daughter, she was signed with some major people twice.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to meet a lot of the artists and stuff like that. And I know, number one, women are not, respected in the industry at all. It's a man-driven industry, number one. And I don't think that would ever change because for, all of the other type companies, accounting, anything out there, the beauty industry or whatever, is more women-driven. But men can come in and take over, like that.
Just like that.
Because, that's how it is. So most industries can be either or. But the music industry is male-driven, no matter what.
And
when you
the acting as well. Acting, like,
yes,
too.
it's man-driven.
Yep. I just recently just went in for like a little audition for like to get into like acting. And they explained to me, it's like there's no age limit with men. With women, cut off like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's a man-driven industry.
And then you're not going to get any more bookings like that, like how you were at a younger age. But men, they just keep going.
And for you guys, you have a lot of control over what you do. Like if you're a comic, you have control on your skits and you write it down and you're just trying to get those laughs. Or if, you guys have the control, but when the women is in that industry, because I have my sister. She's a comedian,
Yeah.
but she's out of North Carolina, and she's came here a couple of times, and she's doing stand up.
Yeah.
And you know, it's the same thing. It's not as easy for her to step in there, and I'm sure that you heard some of the women comedians like
yeah, they have a hard time too.
they have very hard times. So being in an industry where it's male dominated, you know, you're not going to have a lot of the problems.
Right.
But how do you feel when you see, like you said, they told you that the woman's age cut
Yeah.
off? How did that make you feel?
I was like, damn, you know, because I didn't think if you're a good actor, you're a good actor,
Right.
you know. But if
Yeah.
you look at it, you ain't seen Halle Berry and nothing lately.
Yeah,
You ain't
that's
seen
true. And
none
she's
of them.
doing a lot of everything that she's in. She's doing a lot of it. She's doing the films herself.
Right. She's
So
playing.
she's putting herself in
yeah.
all those type of film. And then we just seen what's her name? Taraji
Yeah.
P. Henson.
Was tripping.
She's like
She was
big
upset.
time.
Yeah.
And she's very upset because they don't want to pay her. And listen.
And she done did some good movies.
Yes, very good movie.
Good
And she's an excellent.
Yeah.
You know, I love how she acts, and I think that she has her personality is just, you know, she's have one of those personalities that's like all over the place.
Right.
And that right there makes her unique because she can do just about anything, you know, but she's complaining about that, you know, as well. But being in business, you know, you have a couple of things, you know, that I wanted to hit on. Number one, you're self-employed. You make your income for yourself. How do you start your month off? Like, do you start it off with a surplus from one month to the other, or are you going at it like, okay, got to pay the rent, got to pay this, got to pay that?
Man, I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest. I be everywhere. I got these kids. I got this girl. It be to the point where rent can wait. But I'm really just trying to figure it out. Even when I had came with you, when I met you, you know, you was like, I was real comfortable with you, and you was making me feel like it was gonna be together. Then life just hit me,
yeah,
you know. And then I was like, damn, you know. But I felt like you was gonna be able to get me right, and that's why we got to do that again.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Yeah,
you know. But you know, I want you to touch on something that you said is very important. You might think it's not important, but this is very important. And I want you to speak to the people out there, you know, the kids, you know, on number one, why did you end up going to prison? Number two, how is your life after you got out? What do you have to deal with?
Yeah.
Because of that. Because I know that society don't give you a second chance, even though they always say, oh, second chance, second chance, second chance. And I see it. I see it in the jobs. I see it everywhere. But I want them to hear it from you.
Okay, so first of all, I went to prison just being dumb, just being around the wrong people, wrong crowd. I can't say the wrong people because it's my family and my friends. You know, I love them, but they were into that. I got into it because of them. You know,
right? But okay, so you were hanging around them. So this is not in
like
you.
Easily influenced,
right? But it's not. It wasn't in you.
It wasn't.
So
in
now
me. I've been a good kid all my life. My grandma raised me. My mom's here. My dad's here.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have to be doing what I was doing.
But it was because of who you were hanging around with.
Right.
Okay, so I just wanted to clear that because people, who you hang around is who you become.
Right.
Well, go ahead.
So I was raised good. You know, I had my manners, everything. Went to school, graduated, all that. Just got caught up one time. Never been a juvenile. Never been to jail, no jail, anything. First time ever.
And was that here in Las Vegas? Oh, okay.
First time ever offense, ever been in trouble, and they gave me 8 years.
What?
8
But
years.
and I okay. So I really want to talk about this because I have a niece that is an attorney.
Yeah.
And she says that the color of your skin does determine how much time you do.
Right. And that's because I done seen it with my own eyes. People of the other color, same crime, same situation, first time, probation or out.
Yeah. And so I wanted to touch on that because here's the thing. People don't want to accept this. And, and I'm glad that you're here because my son, all of my son and I tell my grandkids, and this is really sad. It's the truth, but it's very, very sad that I have to sit my children down and tell them, listen, you are a young boy. You will turn into a man. And when you go out there in the world, you already have 3 strikes against you.
Right.
3 strikes. So you got to work extra hard in order for you to get something simple where you see another race be able to get without putting in all of that extra work. Right. And I remember my son said, well, what's my 3 strikes? And I told him, I said, number 1, the color of your skin.
Right. Number
2, being a male. Just being a black male.
Yeah, they own
you. know, right. And then number 3, they're going to look at all of the things that you've done from when you were a child.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you can go and you can pull up a black man's or a black woman's, education back in grammar school. When they get in trouble, well, in grade school, I see that you beat this kid up and you blacked this kid's eye. What? Wait a minute. Why are y'all bringing that history up?
Right, I was a
Nobody's,
child.
right. Nobody's, when they were children, nobody, history follows them. And usually when you go to a job, they want to know that you graduated from high school. When I went to college, I went to Dominican University in Illinois. It's a private school. Mm-hmm. When I went there, of course, they want to see your test. And I was transferring in from a 2-year community college, Triton College. The first thing they wanted to look at was my grades. Totally understand that, And then they said, okay, you have to do the testing. But I did the testing when I was in high school. Why do I got to redo the testing? That doesn't make any sense because I was able to get in with my scores. I was able to get in, the colleges that I chose.
Right.
So why do I have to retake the test? Oh, that's just something that we do here. I redid the test and I went to the school. But here's the funny thing. This was a school, if you look it up, these are wealthy kids. These are kids with money, the school that I chose. And so I got to work with a lot of them. There's this really, wealthy kid that was in one of my classes. And they put me with him to do a project. But he was sort of strung out on like drugs or whatever. And we had to get this project done. And he told me I was so tired. He gave me, it's funny now, but he gave me a real Red Bull mixed with Mountain Dew and something else. And I was like all over the place. I was like, yeah, we got to do this and that. And, and they were sitting back laughing because I was just like all over the place. And I, didn't take anything. And so one day we were seriously having a talk. And so then I said, yeah, I have to fill out the papers to, for my tuition. coming up next month. He said, I don't pay tuition. And I looked at him and I said, oh, yeah, I know your mom paid for it. He said, no, the school paid for it.
What?
So the donations that they ask from us, the alumni, we put it in there and they're paying for rich kids.
Wow.
Education to go to that school. So I automatically thought, well, why do you need that? Your parents are wealthy. And he was like, they gave it to me, so we took it.
Damn.
This is happening all over. And
Right.
and the problem is that, you know, racism is big. I'm a person, I was always raised that no matter what color your skin is, you ain't no different. You're the same. That's how my mom taught me. And I went through life feeling just like that.
Right.
I went through high school, like all of us was the same, you know, and that's how it was. But you know what? By her doing that, she did not prepare me for
Real life
and racism. And when I first experienced racism, it knocked me down. It hurt me to the core. Yeah, because I was like, but my mom says I'm not different. And to feel that racism just because of the color of your skin, hey, that hit hard. It hit hard. But you have to make a choice from that, you know, how your life is going to end after that, you know. And so with that, I want you to talk about some of the things that you've had to go through, you know. How are you moving forward, you know?
Yeah. So, from after prison?
Yes.
Man, to be honest, I might be feeling like I be going through certain stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got all my family.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 beautiful kids. I don't have to work a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't tear me up like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people be institutionalized or whatever when they come home. And,
yes.
And then they just end up doing more crazy stuff and keep going back. They don't know how to get right.
Mm-hmm.
I came home and I got it together ASAP.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that was a hard thing for you to accept because you did something small, but they taken a portion of your life away from you for something that somebody else got probation for.
Right. And it probably the first month I was like, you know, kind of timid, but then after that, you wouldn't be able to know, just like you didn't know until I told you.
Yeah.
Like you would not know that I did that much time.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because I see what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's but some people mindsets is not strong enough to, you know, for it to be honest. I've seen people tear down and commit.
Yeah.
I just lost a homie like that last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had good family. You know, came from a good family, good money, good job, and man, just took himself out like that.
Yeah.
You know, so
my daughter just her son's auntie from the father's side, she took her life, and that was like huge. And this world will definitely eat you up. So, do you have a son?
Yeah, I have a son and a daughter.
Yeah. So, do you fear for him
that
he might?
Yeah, know? Because man, this world messed up.
Mm-hmm.
This world messed up, and I do everything I can. Some people say I'm overprotective. Let him be a boy. Let him be a boy. I'm be like, nah, he not about to do what I was doing.
Yeah, you
know, like I said, I was a good kid, and I still got caught up and went. You know, I can't see that for my son. So it's like I be on him, and he only 6. You know, but you gotta start early. But he a good boy. But I was a good boy. Yeah. You know, no. I had a curfew until I was in the 12th grade.
Yeah.
Shit still, you know, once that curfew got lifted, you know,
was just out there.
Just out there. And not even knowing what I was doing.
So now I want to touch on something that might be a little sensitive for you.
Yeah.
You have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You are an entrepreneur. You make your own money. You know what I'm saying? So how are you, preparing for their future and for your own?
Right. Man, I'm just worried about raising them right now. Until I'm still, like I said, I'm still getting myself together.
Mm-hmm.
And as of being able to save more, being able to eventually purchase a home, I'm about to be 37 this month, and
Wow.
I feel like I don't have nothing to show for it. As the money come in, but got to start owning stuff,
Yeah.
So I'm been kind of focused on that, and I feel like they still at a young age where I still have time to move what I got to do real fast, and then start getting them set up, college funds, and putting them in the right school, being able to spend more time with them, and just make sure they're on the right track.
And so with that being said, I want you to talk to the audience too. Do you have the liberty to sit around and say, I'm going to take 2 weeks off and do nothing, or maybe a month off and do nothing?
I do, but it's not in me. I feel like I be trying to make some money every day. Every day, even if it's $50 or $100, I feel like I need to make something happen because at the end of the day, the club is going good right now, but shit happens.
Not.
Yeah.
Right.
So then what I'm gonna do? I even been trying to look for the club been doing so good. I've been even trying to look for a little part-time job just to have, just in case. I still got something coming in every day.
Okay, so when COVID hit, it knocked a lot of people out because they didn't have enough saved to get them through it. A lot of companies shut down because they didn't have the money saved. You as an entertainment, how does that work for you?
So when COVID hit, I wasn't even in the doing the promotion.
Right.
I was just doing a little comedy, but the comedy's not paying too much or nothing. COVID saved me, to be honest. COVID saved me, unemployment, all that. They was giving $1,000 a week. I was taking all that.
Yeah.
So
and
it didn't really mess me up. To be honest, it helped me.
Right. And a lot of people felt that. But right now, the government is working on coming back after a lot of people because they didn't have that. They didn't file their taxes to show that they were self-employed. They had no trail that this is what they were doing. And there were people out there that was doing those loans, and they were creating the Schedule Cs. They were creating the tax forms and stuff like that. So now the IRS has hired all of these people and is backing up. A lot of people, I know you've seen the lines to try to get into the IRS because they're not releasing the refunds and stuff.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with that
COVID.
very thing. Because when COVID hit, everybody was getting this money.
Yeah.
And the economy, for, the sad part about it is people don't realize that the economy was running off of the government.
Yeah.
The government was keeping they were keeping the economy going. A lot of people took that money, they invested, they brought cars, they did all of this stuff. So it was the government's funds that was running our country for a year and a half. And, I was sitting back and I was watching that. And here's the thing. It created such a huge deficit on us. Now, when the economy goes down, what are we going to do? We done used up the government.
Right.
So a lot of us are not paying attention to that because, there's things that will happen that's going to affect everyone. Our producer, Tim, was just telling me that he was watching, where they were talking about small businesses. It was what percentage was it?
I believe 43%.
43% of small businesses could not make the rent
That's
last
crazy.
month. So 43% of the small businesses could not make the rent last month. I manage a lot of companies, and they're coming in here left or right to cut expenses. I have some that's literally closed their doors. You know, one of our episodes, Boss Barbecue, shut down. Everybody loved their food, but it shut down. And then we have, it's just all kinds of things going on, you know. So how are you preparing yourself for those things?
Haven't been.
And that's honest.
I'm just
that's
being
what I'm
real.
saying. Right.
Haven't been. I need to start.
Yeah.
Because like you said, shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Something coming.
So, yeah.
So
You have to be prepared for it.
got to get it together.
You know, for me, you know, it's funny because people always look at, you know, your business and say, oh, well, she owns an accounting firm, so I know she got money. Or, you know, like for you, the way that you dress, you know, you're all blinged out. So they assumed the type of car that you drive. You know, they assume that you have the money. And one thing that I have learned that I've asked, you know, a lot of people, why did they purchase their car?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And do you know that 90% of them didn't even like the car that they purchased? They just purchased it because it looked good. And everybody else was driving it, so they wanted it. It wasn't what they liked. It was what everybody else was driving, and it was about what everybody else was doing.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, yeah, you know, like doing that, but you are in an industry that I think will be around until it's not around. It's always going to exist.
Right.
You know.
Everybody got a party.
Yeah.
Everybody want a party.
Right. You know, and even with the comedian, do you think that you'll ever jump out there? Because I think that, you know, you can do it.
Yes, I think I was just talking to my boy recently, and I'm gonna start getting back up there and putting in the work.
Yeah, you know,
because I get it too much from people who say I got it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just be my little mind be going crazy sometimes. So I just be like,
I can see you. I can see you in those funny movies like Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm
and doing like, you know, little silly stuff and coming up with, you know, quick stuff.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna get on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna remind you every time I talk to you.
Okay,
because
for sure.
I do appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna, you know, hit you up so that we can get, you know, started and get you situated because, you know, like you came to me and you wanted to buy a home.
Yeah.
And there's things that you have to have in place to buy a home.
Yeah.
So
and
we're going to get you straight.
I was ready. And just, man, just life just or whooping ass. Out of nowhere.
Well, you're always going to have that. And, you know, you have to remember that, you know, consistency and persistent is what's going to get you through that because life is always going to happen. Mm-hmm. Always going
Most
to
definitely
happen.
And when it happens, you still got to stay focused. You still got to handle your business. You still got to take care of them kids.
Yes. Yeah.
It don't stop.
I know. You know, people will say all the time, you know that saying when they say life is hard. Mm-hmm. And so every time, like, my family members will be like, life is hard. And I'll be like, and then you die. And they were like, really?
You helped me out with that one, huh? Like, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, but
it's real.
It is the truth. It is the truth. You know, and you just have to decide how you're going to deal with it, how
Right.
you're going to deal with it. So why don't you tell the audience what you have coming up? How can they find Tay? You know, like tell
Yeah.
them your
Social
your
media.
social medias and things like that.
Okay, well, right now, you can find me on Instagram at Tay, TAY _THA _truth, TRUTH, Tay the Truth. YouTube, Tay the Truth. Facebook, Dante Tay Price. I'm at the club, Big Jerk, right down here on Sahara in Valley View.
Yeah.
Every night, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll get you right. I'll get you drunk. we gonna party and I'll make sure you get home. You need an Uber. I ain't gonna pay for it, but I'll have somebody else pay for it for you. We gonna get you home though. Come party with me.
And what other clubs are you at?
Right now, I'm just at Big Jerk.
You just at Big Jerk.
Big Jerk been
Okay.
taking care of home.
Oh, okay.
I
Then.
don't need to go nowhere else.
Yeah.
And it's kind of be a lot jumping from club to club, club to club.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm cool where I'm at right now until
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with Big Jerk. They have great food.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Shout out Big Jerk.
Yeah.
Shout out Main and Q.
I like their food. That's all I will say. I like their food.
You gonna come party?
Oh, not at Big Jerk. Sheila don't party. Sheila
Oh,
is just
man, Sheila
way
gotta-
too old for that. You know,
Sheila got to come have some drinks.
no, you know, drinking is gonna take me off of my vision of where I'm trying to do.
Okay, well, we don't want to do that.
Yeah. So, I'm working on some things. And then, I'm a person that really, really cares about, what I put out there.
Right.
I really care. I will drink. I'm not saying that I'm not a drinker. I'll have a drink, but I have a limit. I have 2 drinks. A wine, I can only have 1.
You know, it's crazy. I
Because-
just started drinking.
You did?
Yeah, like last year. and
You
and I'll
telling
be
other
getting-
people to come and drink?
I'll be
How
getting-
does that work?
I be getting fucked up now. I'm like, damn, I ain't waited this long, feel this good. I just started, literally.
You
crazy.
just started?
Literally.
Wow.
Like before that, I was having like little shots. Now I ain't never been drunk until probably last year.
Well,
all my years of living on this earth.
yeah, I started drinking.
I don't
You
smoke
know,
though.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I don't
because
smoke.
everybody smokes.
Everybody smokes
Because
I don't smoke.
it's legal. It's legal, so everybody smokes. And they feel like because it's legal, they can do it. But okay, there was, and I feel so bad for this, but my daughter was hit by they said it was a drunk driver. Remember that big accident that happened on Decatur and Spring Mountain some years ago, and they killed all of the people on the bus stop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was a young guy driving.
Yeah,
And,
he came up there.
Yeah.
What was his name? I can't think of his name. But yeah, I remember that.
So they were saying that he was a drunk driver. He wasn't really drunk.
Really?
He had been smoking. He had the weed in his system, and he hadn't had that many drinks. But
Your daughter got hit too?
Yeah, she was at the bus stop. She survived.
Wow.
But the only reason why she survived, because the lady that died and her head got cut off or whatever, my daughter was sitting right next to her. But she had got up to see if the bus was coming because, she was trying to see if she was going to be late or whatever. So she saw him coming, and she was looking like, is he going to get, because he lost control of the car coming out of the gas station he was in. They say he was coming off the street. She was like, no, he came out of the gas station. And they assumed, this is so funny, guys, when she was in the hospital, she was in, she was in intensive care or whatever. They put her in the room right next to him because they assumed she was in the car with him because she was black and she
Wow.
had a sleeve. The tattoo sleeve?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And so when I came up there, and I was just like to the nurse, well, she was just like, well, wasn't she in the car with him? the nurse. And I said, what did you say? And she says, well, was she in the car with him? I said, no, she was on the bus stop. Why did you assume that she was in the car? And I told her, I said, you're assuming that because she's black and she has a sleeve. You know, you feel like she's not, you know, smart or she doesn't have common sense because she's tattooed up.
Yeah, or she looked like
And
him.
yeah, you know, and that wasn't the case. And so when I went to court and I heard the case, whatever, I felt so bad because this boy made one mistake and it took his whole life.
That's all it takes.
You know, and it killed his family. I seen his mom break down because that was her son.
Yeah.
You know, like, and they painted him out to be
And
drunk. They said that he was on drugs. They said that he was a pimp. They said all these kind of things. And that was my daughter. She has a permanent limp. He really hurt her, but he didn't deserve that, what you guys were doing. You're tearing down his character and this person's whole life because he made that one mistake.
And that's,
you know,
and that's why I feel like I'm blessed. Like I said,
Yeah.
one mistake,
yeah,
and I got a second chance though.
uh-huh,
It's messed up. He didn't.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
It's
You
messed
know,
up.
so you got to be careful at what you're doing out there, what you're putting out there. You guys have to be careful because one mistake can change your whole life.
Right.
And that goes to when you're doing business. When you're doing business, if you're not careful and you're running your business and everything is going good, it could take one thing to turn all of that around. And dealing with people, you know, I always say that they so quick to pull out their phone and start videotaping and putting you on blast for sometimes things that you're not even doing. So we have to be careful and we have to, you know, mind what we're doing. Your industry is really cool because you could be laid back, you could be funny, you can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's going to enhance your business, you know. So that's a plus for you.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
it's a plus for you.
I'm loving it right now.
Yeah.
Better than a 9 to 5.
And what would you say to anybody out there that's trying to get into that, you know, into that field?
If you're trying to get into it, just make sure that that's like really what you want to do. Make sure don't half-ass it because you ain't gonna get no money if you half-assing it. You know, it won't make no sense if you just making a couple $100 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, man, do it. You know, promote it, sell it, do whatever you got to do. But yeah,
And how
it's good.
important is it for them to have that team you were talking
Oh,
about?
very important to have a team. You know, it might take a minute to build your team, you know, to find loyal people or whatever. But it's worth it. It's much easier for you to have a team.
Yes. Oh my God. So I am so happy that you came on. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking out the time to, you know, come and
No problems. Anytime.
you know, sit down and talk with me. And for you guys out there, you know, I thank you for listening. I thank you for tuning in. And hey, drop a comment if you're a business owner and you want to come on and you want to discuss, you know, the things that made you, the things that broke you, you know, even if your business is closed, hit us up. We want to hear from you. We want to know what took you to that, you know, that spot where you have to shut down. Because as I say in every episode, what good is education or experience if it's not shared? So we need to share it so that we can help each other. And so I want you to come back next week for our next episode. And again, thank you for tuning in to Business Fumbles.
Hey.
We gon' run up a check, run up tab, run up a bill, run up